What's happening, everyone? It's Peter Waitzman, founder of Expedition Money. I want to talk in this episode here about a conversation that I just had. So, a friend of mine is getting downsized. Her hours at work are being cut. And one of the things that I realized here is that AI is making some big changes across the board, whether it is replacing people or changing job descriptions or making companies more efficient or bringing new competitors in the market. The reality is, I don't know how many changes AI will make, but they are making some big changes. So I'm going to talk a lot about what AI is changing in the world. But the first thing I want to discuss is when people are out there looking for jobs, and maybe you have been downsized, but if you are on the hunt for a new job, or maybe you're just moving jobs because you want to move jobs and it has nothing to do with it. The reality is you have to think about AI in at least one specific way, and that is getting through the resume screening process of a future employer. So as mentioned, one of my friends she's a graphics designer and she was applying to a company and she got an interview. But what the recruiter at that company said was that 390 people applied for the job and they are using AI to screen those candidates for people that are appropriate for that job. And only six of those nearly 400 applicants were approved by the AI to go through the next level of screening. So what I want to mention here is that even though sometimes we think AI is the great gift from the heavens above, the reality is it's fallible. And the reality is your tendencies to maybe write for just a person in your resume may be hurting you in terms of getting chances to interview. And so what I would strongly recommend is if you are trying to apply for any job the normal way, you see a job description, you are sending in a resume, a cover letter, maybe you're even networking for it, make sure that your application materials are going to a person who is familiar with the AI practices that HR departments are using, or job placement agencies, or headhunters, or any of these levels of human resources, so that your information is set up in a way that will get past the AI screeners. And this is unfortunately just part of playing this game because sometimes you're like, I'm still the same person, I'm still qualified. Yeah, you might be, but just the way things are phrased, the keywords that are missing, maybe the way it's structured. And I don't know what all the details are that are going to get you past that level of AI. It's going to depend a lot on your industry and the type of job that you're applying for. But now I think it's more important than ever to enlist the help of a professional so that you do not get bumped by AI, that you don't get bumped by those pre screening processes. So give yourself a chance. I know it's expensive sometimes to hire some people to do this. When I applied for my job, I actually hired a person to make sure that my resume was written in the right way. He gave me the verbiage to use on my LinkedIn. So it was a good package, but it was almost $2,000 for the resume and then all of the LinkedIn components that went with it. So not cheap at all, but I did get another job and it kept me in that six-figure range. So obviously it worked and I think it was a worthwhile investment. Now you might be saying, hey, I don't have that kind of money. What I would do is I would probably inundate yourself in YouTube videos or some of the online trainings or online courses that are available so that you can apply as many of these best practices and tips and tricks as possible to your own stuff. But if you can hire someone, you also might be able to find some people who are doing this part time as a side hustle. Maybe they work in HR, maybe they work in headhunting during the day and they're willing to do some things for you for cheap. Some people might have some sort of package, so it's kind of automated. You might be working with other people in the organization, maybe some more junior people to get it more affordable. Sometimes you might be hiring the head of a company, the rock star there, and that might be a couple $1,000. But depending on what you can afford, I would definitely use that. And even if you can't afford anything, I think there are still some options there. But definitely at this point in time, I do not think that you just want to write down what you think or you intuit should be on a resume or an application and send it off. I think more than ever, those types of applications are going to be rejected. So I urge you to seek out some level of professional right now while you are attempting to get your next job. So hope that helps. I'll see you later.